What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode number 9, you guys. And the episode was titled Blame It on the Henny. Now, before we go ahead and get into the review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out of this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss The Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we? All right, you guys. So if you guys watched last night's episode, tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section or in the live chat. It was an okay episode. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, I hated the episode. It gave a little something to talk about. So I'm here for it, right? I'm here for it. But like I said again, I want you guys to tell me what you guys thought, what you guys feel. They showed the mid-season trailer at the end of it, which I had already saw the mid-season trailer earlier in the week. And I saw fraud ass Phaedra Parks in it, and I'm still good on her. Like, I really prefer her not to be here, but unfortunately, she is here, and she's coming back. Hey Vet, how are you doing today? Hope everybody is doing good. What is today? Monday? Yeah, today is Monday. It don't feel like a Monday to me. For some odd reason, it don't feel like Monday. Y'all, I don't know where to start up with this episode. So I guess I'll just start up with Cynthia. So Cynthia is meeting up with the ladies, and she wants to get everybody's side about what happened the last night in Nashville because she went to sleep early, right? So Cynthia is talking to Shamia, she's talking to Kelly, and then she had a solo scene with Angela, and she also had a solo with Portia, right? What I also will say about Cynthia, it's interesting. I don't think I've ever really Real Housewives of Miami does their friend stuff like this, right? Outside of Miami, I have never really saw a friend of be featured so much, right? Because Cynthia is really featured in this season. You would sometimes think that Cynthia is still an actual peach holder, but she's not, right? So Angela is telling Cynthia her side of things, right? And she's talking about the fact that she heard somebody call her Big Bird. Then she heard the stuff with Portia. Hey, Joe, but how are you doing today? Hope you're doing good. But she said that she heard the stuff of heard somebody call her Big Bird. Then we move over to Shamia and Britt, and Shamia is saying that Britt's not Shamia and Britt, Shamia and Kelly. So Shamia is telling Cynthia that Britt then said that Angela's husband cheated on her and had an outside baby, right? Then we got the split scene where it's Kelly and Angela talking to Cynthia, telling Cynthia that Portia said that she would, F her husband. And then we see the footage of when Angela went down there to confront Portia, and Portia got up and walked away. Am I shocked by that? Absolutely not. So after that, Portia says to Cynthia that she doesn't remember saying this to Angela. And I was like, okay, so we're just gonna continue to blame it on the Hennessy. Cool. If that's what you want to do, I'm not here for it. But if that's what Portia wants to do, let Portia do it, right? So then Portia says she don't remember saying that because she wouldn't fuck anyone's husband. And I was like, Portia, I don't think it's gonna age well for you, beloved. Because if my memory serves me correctly, when you got with Simon, he wasn't yet divorced from Fallon. So that would imply that he was what? That woman's husband still. And y'all were already engaged. So, and you can't tell me that when you was engaged to him, that you wasn't having sex with him. But you know what, Portia? Hey, if that's the lie you want to run with today, I'm gonna let you run with it. But if my memory is serving me correctly, You definitely did fuck another woman's husband. But hey, whatever. So then Shamia reads out this text message. Now she didn't read the full text message, but I guess it was a long ass text message where Angela was gathering her and the girls, right? So Cynthia let them know that she's going to be having her Bailey Q. You guys remember? Oh, remember that it was season 11 when she did the Bailey Q, and when Marlo and Shamari got into it, and Shamari was drunk off of her ass. I miss Shamari on this show. Like Shamari was so good for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her and Ronnie DeVoe, they were good for. I enjoyed them on the show. I want Shamari back. I really do. I don't know if anybody agrees with me, but I want Shamari back because I thought Shamari was a really good addition to Housewives. But let's move on to the next scene, you got. Well, the next person that I want to talk about. And the person that I want to talk about is somebody who confused me the most throughout this damn episode. And that is none other than Britt Eady. Now, y'all probably are wondering why I say Britt confused me in this episode. It's because of some things that Britt said in this episode that I was just hella confused by. Now, we remember when we first got Britt's solo scene with her and her mama, right? And Britt was talking about her mama moving into the house with them, right? Am I delusional or did I imagine this shit with Britt? Because Britt was talking about her mama moving in, her mama selling the house and all that kind of stuff. That it seemed like it was Britt's idea, right? Am I the only person that thought it was Britt's idea for her mama to move in, and if she gets pregnant, for her mama to help her with her baby? Please tell me it's not just me that was thinking that. Because if it is, then maybe I wasn't listening to Britt. I probably wasn't listening to Britt. That's what that's the assumption that I'm gonna come up with, because we see Britt as she is at her mom's house and they're packing her mother's stuff up, right? And so Britt lets us know that, you know, this was her mama's idea to sell the house. And we see her and her sister Cher packing up the house. But Cher is in her feelings because this is their family home. They expected for this house to be passed down generation after generation. And even Britt is talking about how she wishes that the house was still in the family. But, you know, she gets it. Her dad built the house for her mom, and he was only able to enjoy a year of it. So now her mother is selling the house. And I was like, okay. But again, I could have swore that, never mind. Maybe when it comes to Brit, I don't listen to her too deeply, which I'm starting to realize that now that I don't really pay much attention to Brit. And then it ain't got nothing to do with me not liking Brit, because it ain't that I don't like Brit. Her voice is annoying, but I just thought I could be tripping. I could be tripping. Yvette says yes. She said her mama was moving in to help when she has a baby. What? That's what I thought Brit said. That's what I thought. I thought I heard that with Brit. Like, but then in this episode, it just flipped. And then her sister, how you doing? How you doing, Paul? How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. But then like I said, this scene with Brit and her sister and her mom and her grandmother, it confused me for so many fucking reasons, right? Because the sister going back and forth with the mama about what she's doing with her house. I was like, huh? That's like my family. If like my grandmother's house, she bought it. She bought it. Her house is paid off, right? It's our family home now, and it is being passed down from generation because my grandmother is now deceased, and my aunt lives in the house, right? But that would be like if my mama and her siblings had got mad at my grandmother for selling her house after my grandfather died, which he died long before I was born. But that would be like them getting mad about that. That ain't got nothing to do with you. That's not your house. You didn't buy it. You didn't pay the mortgage on it every month. Your mama did. Like, and it was a lot. And then when their sister Tierra, when they called her sister Tierra, now, honestly, what I will say about the sister share, I really honestly feel like maybe she has some depression issues, some anxiety issues. And I'm only saying this as someone who has lost a parent that I was super close to. So I can see bits and pieces of myself in her with her outbursts. And I agree with her when she said, it's not fair to shut her out. I agree with that too. But at the same time, I've also been the person who shuts people out, not intentionally. But like I said, that scene was so confusing to me, but neither here nor there. Moving on to another scene that I was hella confused by. Kelly. And I'm gonna say this in the nicest way of possible. I'm a dog lover myself, right? I love dogs. When I move into my house, I'm going to get myself a dog. But I'd be damn if I'm gonna dye my dog's fur maroon, burgundy, purple, pink, blue, orange. Me personally, this is my personal opinion. And I know she said that everything that was done to her dog was vegan, but to me, that just gives animal cruelty. That's just very. I just find that kind of. I cringe I cringe seeing her dog. Every time I see her dog with that fur, I cringe. Then I also look at people who, and this is no shade to people who put bows and put clothes on their dogs. I wouldn't. They already have fur, you guys. What they need clothes on for? Like I know people do it because they think it's cute, and to some people it is cute. To me, it ain't something that I would ever do to my dog. Period. But she's having a birthday party for her dog. I was like, wow, this is almost the equivalent. And somebody gonna, people might catch some shade towards this, but this is almost the equivalent to when I see people throw over the top, extravagant birthdays for a 1-year-old, i.e., Phaedra, when she threw that birthday party for her son. This is memory is only for you, not for the child. And this dog, I don't even think this dog knows that it has a what a birth. This dog don't even know what a birthday is. They may, but all this over the top shit for this dog. Then she said the dog gets her hair done, nails done, everything done. Shout out to Drake, or not shout out to Drake, whichever way you want to take it, right? So then we see Britt there, and this is where Britt was telling Kelly about her mom moving in. Britt, Britt, Britt. You gonna milk the hell out of this Kenya stuff, aren't you? You like you are gonna milk this for everything that you can, and I'm over it already because Britt says that with everything that happened with Kenya, that brought she and her sisters closer together. I was like, oh God, Britt, oh God, Britt, go to hell. I'm sorry. I get that it was a lot that she did to you, but ma'am, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like you didn't do anything as well. Let's stop with the games, Britt. Let's stop with the games. So let's move on to the next person, Shamia. So Shamia scene is gonna be a quick in and out. I wish nothing but the best for Shamia when it comes to Shamia wanting to have more kids. I do. What I will say with Shamia is just proceed with caution, right? Look at what happened when you tried to, when you got pregnant, you had a miscarriage, right? Atopic pregnancy. Then the stuff with Shiloh. I know that was, that's just random what happened with Shadina, having breast cancer and then having to give birth. And I didn't talk about it last week about Shamia talking about that she just, she wants to give Gerald a son. He deserves it and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know if he seems like a great dad, right? But I don't know if I would go as far as to say he deserves it. But hey, do what's best for you guys. Here's the question for you, Shamia. Why is adoption not on the table? Like I do wonder that question. Why is adoption not on the table? But neither here nor there. So Shamia is meeting up with her potential surrogate for her next baby, right? And like I said, hopefully it works out for Shamia. Now I don't know what the status is with Shamia and her journey, to having another child. Maybe we'll get it at the reunion, or maybe we'll get it later in the season. But who knows? But that's it for Shamia. Now we'll move on to. I guess I'll move on to Portia. What I will say that is so interesting about Portia, it's hilarious to me, to be quite honest with you guys, that we see Portia filming, but Portia ain't filming in that house of hers. The screen said Portia's mama's house, which y'all know that's Portia's old house that she bought after her divorce from Cordell, right? That is one thing that I will say about Portia. Girl, I am so glad that you did not sell that damn house. I am so glad that although you quit all your jobs when you got with Simon, I will say the smartest thing that you did was not selling your damn house. So I'll give you that much, Portia. I'm glad you didn't sell that house. Now, Portia brought a dog for PJ. I did see that she talked about that dog in her video, because y'all know Portia got a YouTube channel now. Am I gonna watch it? No, I don't watch. I don't watch any of the Bravo celebrities on their YouTube channels. Nothing personal against them. I just choose not to watch them. So we see as Portia's talking to Lauren and Miss Diane. I was like, the two people who are yes men for Portia, because Diane and Lauren always agree with what Portia says. I was like, oh God, can you imagine having two people in your life that very rarely tell you when you're wrong? Okay, whatever. So Portia is talking about her divorce with Simon. Don't care. Then she's talking about this. Then she's talking about what happened in Nashville with the whole Drew of it all, where she found out that Coach Dennis was still filming with Drew. When I tell you guys I'm sick of this storyline with Portia, Drew, and Coach Dennis, I told you guys plenty of times before that I think that this is a concocted storyline, and I still have that same feeling. This storyline just feels fake as fuck to me. I don't believe Portia's telling the truth. I don't believe Drew was telling the truth. I don't believe that Dennis is telling the truth. I think all three of these people are fucking lying to us. And then you see in the mid-season trailer that Portia and Shamia filmed with Ralph. When I tell y'all, I think that when I tell you guys, I think they're playing in our faces. I think they play in our faces. Like, I can't say anything else besides I think that they're playing in our face. I think these four. At first, I was thinking it was just Drew, Coach Dennis, and Portia, but now I think it's all four of them that's playing with us, and I'm over it. So then Portia starts talking about what happened with Angela. Portia, you should get your lies together before you get on camera, especially about this whole you called her Big Bird, but you didn't call her Big Bird. In your scene with your mama and Lauren, you said you called her Big Bird. In your interview, you said you did not call her Big Bird, but the producers played you saying you called her Big Bird. Then you want to again blame it on Hennessy that you don't know what you said to this woman or about this woman and her husband. Okay. So after that, we see as she's meeting her au pair. Now I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I should guess I could have Googled it before I came on here. I've heard of it before, but to actually tell you guys that I know what it is, I would be lying. I would be lying like a motherfucker. It says an au pair, a young person, typically from another country, who lives with the host family and provides childcare in exchange for room, board, and a weekly stipend. Oh, okay, cool. So her and Dennis meeting this girl. I ain't got much for it. Then they talked about the Drew of it all once again. Like I said a few minutes ago, I am so sick of hearing about Portia, Dennis, and Drew because they're all fucking lying. Because Dennis lied in this fucking scene. Well, actually lied in the interview because he's in an interview with Portia, and the producers asked him, "So, why did Portia have to find out that you filmed with Drew?" He said, "Well, The cameras were, I just showed up to the studio and the cameras were just there. Sir, that is a bold-faced fucking lie. Whatever, Dennis. Get off my television screen. Now, let's move on to Angela. Angela, I'm going to say this nicely, as nice as I can. If you do come back for season 17, we got to work on the wigs. Please work on the wigs. Because the wigs, now when you get your hair, when you get dressed up and go out for, events, you look good. Also, happy belated birthday, or I don't know if yesterday was her birthday or if today is her birthday. But her birthday is either today, either yesterday or today. And happy belated birthday to Drew because her birthday was last week. Angela says she's 44 years old. We're going to choose to believe that Angela's 44. We're going to choose to believe that Angela's 44. And I think Drew just turned 40. So we see Angela and Charles working out with each other, right? So she told him about Nashville and how she invited Drew. And he was like, how can you invite somebody on another person's trip? Good question, Charles. Like I said before, let's not pretend like production didn't have a hand in inviting Drew on this damn trip. This is a film show that was a cast event. Drew had to be there, or else Drew wasn't gonna get paid for that episode. So let's not play that game, right? So then she also told him that she asked Portia why she saw that woman's husband. He said, how you know that? She said she got it from the streets. I was like, girl, you got it from the fucking blogs. But okay. He was like, you can't believe those streets. I was like, in this particular case, we can't believe those streets. But he told her that wasn't her business. Okay, I'll give you that. It wasn't her business, right? But I mean, for the sake of the show, I think people want to know. But at this point, I really don't care why Portia did what she did anymore. It's old news. Am I still gonna hold her accountable? Absolutely, but it's old news at this point. Like I really couldn't be bothered to give a fuck about why Portia did what she did. But hey, if you guys care, let me know. So after that, now Angela, I will say, and please listen to what I'm saying, not to respond, you guys, because I'm not saying this as a defense or anything, because whatever was said is still fucked up, right? But Angela, you kind of flipped what you said that Portia said about fucking Charles. Because you said last week that she said that she would fuck Charles. Then I caught it last week too with Kelly. Kelly said, she said, if she don't shut up, I would fuck Charles. But then this week's episode, you're telling Charles that Portia said he's just so fuckable, anybody could fuck him. I could fuck him. So I'm so confused. Which one is it? Either way it go, they both bad. Like they're both terrible things to say. Like I wouldn't say that about, like I wouldn't say that about another person's significant other. Like that would never come out of my mouth. That they're just so fuckable. Anybody could fuck them. If I wanted to, I could, right? Now, single person, absolutely. I would say that about a single person that I know likes me, or that I know likes me, or that I know kind of gets around like that, right? But a married person, I would never. Like a married person, I would never say that about. But I'm just questioning Angela, like which one was it? And again, like I want to preface it by saying again, neither one of them are perfect. Like they're both horrible. What she said, but if she said he's just so fuckable, anybody could fuck him, then did she really say, again, like I said, I'm not making excuses. I just want you guys to understand that. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck was said. Again, both of them are bad. They're terrible. And Portia wants to sit here and blame it on the alcohol. Girls, stop doing that. Stop doing that. It wasn't, the alcohol. It may have been the alcohol that made the truth come out of you. Hey, Ashley the Mocha Barb, you say either way it's bad, but I see what you. Yeah. It's so disrespectful, but That's Portia, right? Like it's disrespectful either way you either way you slice it, dice it. And the funny thing is, Charles didn't seem affected. Like, I mean, he Charles is very nonchalant, and I'm realizing that. But he didn't really seem phased by nothing that Angela was saying. I was like, girl, this man really is. I mean, he is fuckless. That is one thing I will say about Charles. He's fuckless because most men would be, most. And then he even mentioned Portia having a big ass mouth. I said, I will say I do like Charles. I think he's a good house husband. I enjoy Charles. I do enjoy Charles. But yeah, you guys, that's really it for Angela. And let's see if we've talked about everybody before we get to the Bailey Q. So yeah, we talked about that. We talked about Kelly, Portia, Shamia, Angela, and Britt. So yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and get to the Bailey Q. Now, the Bailey Q. So Cynthia says she normally has the Bailey Q on the 4th of July. I'm glad it wasn't the 4th of July because we don't celebrate the 4th. Well, I know for me personally, I have never really celebrated the 4th of July. I treat the 4th of July as just another day. And and in my adult years, I just treat the 4th of July as a paid holiday. I don't celebrate that motherfucker. I don't do anything on the 4th of July. But eat and stay home. Like I stay home, but then I go out, I go to my family's house, be barbecuing and eat the food, and I bring my black ass back home. But in order to just say I in order to just say that I celebrate the 4th of July would be a damn lie. The fuck? Celebrate the 4th of July. I celebrate Juneteenth. And to anybody who stumbles across this video and hear me talk about the 4th of July and Juneteenth, and you get offended by it, let me say this as nicely as I can. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. My people were not free on the 4th of July. My people were still enslaved on the 4th of July. So what the hell am I celebrating? Just have to put that out there because I don't know. I don't know, if I have any people who are MAGA or Black MAGA. I have to say that because y'all get offended when we as Black people say we don't celebrate the 4th of July and that we celebrate Juneteenth, and Juneteenth is our Independence Day. It is our Independence Day. It is our Independence Day. I'm gonna say it one more time for y'all loudly and clearly. My people were not free. My people were still enslaved on July 4th. But okay. Yvette says, JB, I like the way you break down each housewife. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Ashley says, say it again. Exactly. Like I have to say that because I've saw it since Biden signed it into law. Signed it as a federal holiday, and I more so see it when the alt-right Black MAGAs when they try to feel away when they you know I'm set I'm sidetracking myself, but I have to say it. I find it interesting with those alt-right Black people who pacify and make it okay for white people to be racist. Like, no, we celebrate Juneteenth over here. Every day, every year, Juneteenth gets celebrated. Yep, Ashley says Juneteenth is for us, and I love it. What up, Chef Don Don? How you doing today, friend? I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, you guys, let's get to this Bailey Q. So Cynthia said for the women to wear Juneteenth colors. I was gonna shade the fuck out of Shamia, which I still am gonna shade the fuck out of Shamia, but Shamia was the only one who actually wore Juneteenth colors. Although she wore Juneteenth colors in the form of African garb, I was like, oh my God, Shamia. Shamia, Shamia, Shamia. I be trying with you, Shamia. Like you look like you came straight from the motherland. But okay, you were the only person who showed up in the Juneteenth color, so I will give it to you. I will give you that you showed up in the Juneteenth colors. This prophet that Cynthia had. So let me say this, and before I say it, this is no disrespect to anybody who believes in prophets. This is absolutely no disrespect to you guys. But that prophet right there, I call bullshit on her. I'm sorry, I call bullshit on that lady because some of the stuff that she was saying, I feel like, never mind. Let me not say what I was going. I just don't. I no. I wasn't seeing it for their profit. I'm sorry. I, I wasn't seeing it for their profit. And like I said again, if you believe in profits, then that is no. This is no disrespect to you guys who believe in them, but for me, I don't subscribe to that. Again, no offense to people who do. I just don't subscribe to it. Right. So the woman was going around. So she got to Angela at one point, and she mentioned a Porsche. Mind you, she said Porsche, not Porsche. But Shamia's old messy ass goes because she says he got his talking about Charles got his eye on the Porsche, and she said, "Do you mean Porsche or Porsche?" I said, "Shamia, shut up," because you would be mad if somebody said any. Well, you would be mad if somebody said anything about your husband. But okay, Shamia, girl, whatever. Moving on. So everybody's there. Again, I'm not going to talk about what the prophet said to the girls because I don't really care, and I honestly wasn't listening. Now, what I did listen to was Britt said that she got a line of shapewear and loungewear coming. I said, "Say what now, Britt? The loungewear I'll let you have, but shapewear, this is gonna come out super duper shady. I already know it is. But Britt, oh JB, do you want to say that? Do you want to say this? Oh no, do you want to say this? Oh, this is gonna be mean and shady. But Britt, shapewear, babe, shapewear. I don't know if that's your lane. I really don't think that's your lane, Britt. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think that shapewear is your lane, but loungewear, yeah. But the shapewear of it all, because after seeing your ass in last week's episode, I think you might want to go back to your doctor and ask them to take some of whatever is in your ass out of it. But yeah, shapewear, Brit, no, I don't think so, babe. I don't think so, beloved. I really don't think so. But okay, cool. So Britt and Angela, after the prophet got up and walked away from them, these two went at it. So Britt is saying something to Angela, and she's like, "Can you read the words that are coming out of my mouth? Let me do it better. Can you read the words that are coming out of my mouth?" Britt, also, when you go back to your doctor to get whatever's in your ass taken out, have them check your sinuses because I really think that your doctor, when they did your nose job, fucked with your sinuses. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but you are very nasally when you talk. So Angela says, "As big as your mouth is, I should be able to read what's coming out of it." I said, "Well, damn." So then Britt says, "Well, it sounds like you need to use your mouth more." And Angela said, "But not I do, but not as much as yours, though with those stretch marks around it." Britt says, "Show me the stretch marks." So Angela said, you have miles on your mouth." I was like, "Well, damn, Angela." She was gathering Britt, and then she called her a whore. And Britt says, "Only in the bedroom, babe." Okay, whatever, Britt. Um, Ashley says the airway passages is tight. They are tight as hell with Britt. I hate hearing her talk. So then they played a trivia game with Juneteenth, right? The first question was which president signed it into a federal holiday? We all know that's Joe Biden. Then she asked, "What is the week after Juneteenth call, or the week after?" I believe she said, and I forgot what the answer was, but I thought it was hella funny that Portia said that she has never been so loud and wrong before, and they played that clip of that girl talking about the Underground fucking Railroad. Bitch, I hollered. I was like, they are never going. I thought they were going to play the 265 days in a year comment too, but they didn't play that one. I would have been, man, they should have played that one too, because I like to holler when Nene said 265 days. Where that bitch live? That one, like, That girl said 265 days in a year in the Underground Railroad. Girl, it was a passageway, not an actual train that somebody was. Girl. Okay, Portia. Moving on. So Cynthia decides that she wants to pull both Angela and Portia to the side, right? So Angela is telling Portia how, after she told that she invited Drew, she felt ganged up on. Can I give Angela that? Yes and no. I can give it to you. I think you kind of were ganged up on, but I don't think you were ganged up on, in a sense, right? You know what? At that dinner, yeah, I'll give you that. Because those girls were kind of ganging up on you. I'll give you that. So then they talked about what happened at the pool. Portia is making excuses in her interview, talking about she was just having fun with her girls. That's how you have fun? That's how you get down? Ma'am, that is not fun. To even imply that you would fuck another woman's husband. All I'm like, no, that's not fun, but okay. Whatever. Very weird behavior. I mean, very weird behavior. So they both gave each other half-ass apologies. Let's be real about the situation. Angela and Portia gave each other a half-ass apology because I don't think that either one of them really meant the apology that they gave each other. So then Shamia wants to have a conversation with Angela. Now, Shamia, you lucky it was Angela and not me because I would have cussed you out. So Angela's just saying to Shamia, like she feels as a married woman, she should have said something to Portia. Shamia's like, well, I don't want to get in it, and that ain't, it ain't my fight. Okay, it ain't your fight, but right is right and wrong is wrong. Tell your friend, a friend, you wrong. Then Shamia sent her making excuses for why she laughed. Talking about it was funny, and I think laughter is healing, which it is healing. She's like, I even laughed at my uncle's funeral because they had him dressed like a preacher, and the man never stepped foot in church. I was like, no, Shamia, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, we're not making an excuse for that. Like the fuck? That was so weird, Shamia. But yeah, you guys, that was the episode. I want you guys again to tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Like I said, overall, I thought it was a good episode. Um, Angela, you are a good housewife. I will definitely give you that. You are a good housewife. The way you gathered Miss Britt up, I was here for it. But yeah, you guys, that's the episode. Be sure to like the video, you guys, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your post notifications, you guys. And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. So I was gonna try to have a Paradise tonight if you guys are watching those reviews, but I'm probably just gonna wait until tomorrow because I don't want to put up a late video. So it'll probably be up first thing tomorrow morning, and that'll be it. So yeah, you guys, like I said, I'm about to hop off of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.